Hello everyone, it's Anna here with another process video. This time it's something new. It's not a repurposed content of Big Picture Classes class. I decided to reach for my Silhouette Cameo after a long break. um, I was a little offended by it. Well, not by the machine but itself, but for my computer because few weeks ago I had a major computer crash and I lost all of my data, including all of my CAD files, beautifully arranged, beautifully segregated, and now they are gone. Of course, some of them I can upload once again, but some of them are lost uh, along with the data on the hard drive. So I wasn't using my machine for a while, but I decided maybe it's time to give it a go once more. And I got this CAD file from Paige Evans' store. It's a Word Explorer. And I cut it out with white cardstock. And now I am backing each letter with a pattern paper from also Paige Evans' collection called Adventurous. I did a major travel album with this line and I have some leftovers left. And mostly those are pattern papers. I really don't have a lot of embellishments. I used up almost all the stickers, all the ephemera pieces. So I'm just running on fumes when it comes to this collection. And I decided maybe I will use up those bits and pieces to create a page. And backing a CAD file is a perfect way of using up some extra paper scraps. I am using the letters that were like inlays of each letter as a stencil of how much of a paper I need. I'm just tracing it around, leaving like 2 millimeters margin around. If I could cut them exactly like the letter that I'm using as a stencil, it wouldn't have this margin to add some extra glue and go under the white outline. So I'm using extra space around it with my pencil when I'm tracing each letter. And I will do exactly the same with all the letters, excluding the globe. Because for the globe, I of course have leftovers, but they are not that useful as the letter inlays when it comes to separate letters. So I'm just, it's a process. You need spend some time doing it. Of course, you can trace the letters with your pencil and create something um, like the outline and that you need cut a little bit extra, but it was just easier. And now it's time to fill up the globe, and I will be using blue and green papers. And here I am eyeballing everything. I'm just putting the paper next to the element I want to cut, and I was just eyeballing it. And as you can see, some of the elements like continents and seas are different colors. So I'm starting from the left, filling up the smallest spaces. Then when I'm adding another layer, I need to only trim it on one side because other side is no longer visible. So moving from left to right, instead of creating continents first and seas second or other way around, is easier and faster for me to do so. So I'm just, again, eyeballing. I trace the continents with the pencil, but the rest is just trimmed down with scissors. And now I have this continent. I will add two more continents and I will fill the leftover space with blue paper as the ocean. So again, it's a meticulous process. It takes a while. So you just need to enjoy this. If you don't like this, you can play with your cut file if you are more familiar with your Silhouette Cameo and use those paper scraps to cut out those elements inside. But it takes a while. For me, I think it would take me longer than actually cutting down those letters, tracing them with the pencil. So it's like up to you. What are your what is your knowledge of your software? For me, again, it was this way because it was easier. And now I only need to add blue on the ocean. So I'm just tracing the paper up and down because I just need to trim it on the top and on the bottom so it will not stick out from the globe. And otherwise I will be good. And I only need to add a piece of paper on the stand of the globe, but I'm not sure if I did it right away or I forgot to do it and I came back to this later. But as you can see, the blue is only trimmed on top and the bottom because you can't see it under the continent. So yeah, I did it off camera because I forgot about backing this element. And I used 3 mm thick black foam. You can use white foam. I just had it on my desk. This one is from scrapbook.com to add dimension, and I printed 6 pictures, and each picture will be backed with a piece of pattern paper. And again, I'm using paper scraps from Adventurous collection here. So each picture will get a different pattern paper from the collection, and after they will be all backed down, I will glue them to my background paper. I chose blue cardstock because I thought it kind of complements best all the pictures and the background and the title. And I used a piece of cardboard under each photo so they are also left raised above the surface. And now it's time for embellishing. I went through all the stash that I got left from the collection, picked some elements that may work out, including those cardboard elements from the cardboard elements pack, which I have like the most of because my album was just too thick to add any extra bulk, and I didn't use those in my album mostly. So I have a lot of those elements, but they are quite big. They are not a good ones for filling up smaller spaces in the layout like this, which is quite busy and doesn't have a lot of empty spots. So I use those frames on the pictures and two other elements. I also have those puffy titles, and I decided to use word magic on this blue ticket, I would say, tag, maybe tag. I kind of spelled it my way. Well, not spelled it, glued it my way because it was intended to be a straight line. And now with a little bit leftovers, those are fussy cutted from one of the papers. I'm filling up the empty spaces, building up composition. Of course, I will not use a plane because we traveled there by car, plus the plane is quite big, but I'm using tickets, I'm using a little tags. All of those are fussy cut from the papers from this collection because this collection I think holds 24 pattern papers, and I got not only pattern papers themselves, but I have this kind of a project book with pattern papers, solid cardstocks, and stickers. So I have plenty of those to play with. I am also using these tickers from the collection. The collection contains of two ticker sheets. This one is with smaller letters in gold and colorful finish. Those are like a puffy foam letters. And there is also the bigger font, very kind of nice, fancy and colorful, but it was too big with the big title Explore. And I'm just adding the word Chambord, which is the name of the castle. We took those pictures, so it's Explore Chambord. And I am also finishing everything with those cute puffy stickers that I have left. Those are also from the same collection. Um, so I'm just going through what I have trying to fill the empty spots and find the matching elements. I wasn't intending to add flowers to this page. I was going to keep it very kind of a simple, but in the end I added some small flowers from the those puffy stickers, and not adding bigger flowers, which I still have some from the flower pack. And my layout is almost done. I'm almost there when it comes to embellishing it, especially that I do not have much of the elements left. But I also found this word, uh, and it's also from those cardboard elements pack. And it's a getaway word, which will kind of complement my Explorer title. I'm just gluing it down. I don't know. It wasn't necessary, but I needed something darker up here, and this title seemed like the most perfect solution. Especially that I didn't want to go through some other stuff, looking for elements from different collections. It was supposed to be quick, easy page with leftovers, and that's why I used the getaway. Here are some close-ups of the finished layout. I had so much fun backing the cut file because this is something that I like to do. And of course, I had so much fun preserving those memories. Here are some other videos you may like. Thank you so much for staying with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave me some comments if you have any questions, and see you soon on some other video. Bye!